What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Monday Night Raw Review with LilBigMan Gaming. And on top of that, this is night 2 of the WWE Draft. Anywho, I'm gonna try to do something a little different today because it was a lot. So I'm gonna try to speed through this. I don't want to take too much time. I'm gonna, some stuff if it's worth getting into, I'm gonna get into. But other than that, I'm gonna try to, keep it short and simple and sweet. Yeah. So with that being said, I lost my train of thought and I couldn't figure out what I was gonna say next. But anyway, happens, right? Brain fart. When the music stopped, they showed Logan Paul coming into the arena in a nice. I think that was that a Bugatti. Was that a Bugatti? It was. I can't remember what he came in, but it was a nice car. And he was with Patrick Mahomes since they was in Kansas City. He was with Patrick Mahomes, ISO Speed, and they basically, I think, basically it was he revealed right there that he was basically there with ISO Speed to do some presentation or to present the draft picks. He was invited by Triple H. And then I think Judgment Day, he had the Judgment Day came out, they had a little patting on the bags, boosting each other up, and it looked like he was in cahoots with Judgment Day. And more on that in a minute. Well, actually, was that? No, yeah, that happened in the second round. So no, more of that later. I think Michael Cole and them opened up and talked about the draft and about stuff that happened last week. But we get to a Becky Lynch promo where she came out and talked about how 6 years ago the man was created there. Cause I forgot that was Kansas City where Nia Jax bust her in the face and bloodied her face. And she was standing up there in the crowd declaring that this was her show. And she said it took her 2 years to get back to being a world champion. But she said it's more about, she said she's going to hold on to the title, but it was more about holding on to the title tightly. She also needed to defend the title. So she said they need to find a new number one contender. She'll get interrupted by Liv Morgan, who basically would say they look no further than her. And that she said she didn't want her to hand her a title opportunity, but at the same time, she kind of owed one by the fact that she did something that not even Becky could do, was get rid of Rhea Ripley. And she kind of healed it up there because, the crowd was taunting her and stuff like that. I still have a problem with her not being a full heel because she comes out, she shakes the kids' hands or whatnot, but then she act a little heelish. So I don't know what Triple H is doing with her. I trust Triple H sometimes because these Friday and this today's draft proved that he got some spotty stuff that happens, man. Sometimes his booking is spotty, but she said, yeah, don't look no further than her. Nia Jax will come out and talk about since this is her last night on Raw because next Monday is the start of the new roster or same roster with somewhat new people. That she wanted to. She's gonna basically when she start on SmackDown, she's gonna start a hunt for Bayley's title. But she said she didn't want to leave Raw without taking one of them with her, and Liv Morgan will accept the challenge for later on tonight. And then we will get the first round of the night 2's draft presented to us by Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon got a remix of her, like it's still like her same song, but she got like a different beat. I never noticed it. Maybe I don't know if I noticed it on WrestleMania or not, but she basically got a new version of her theme song. But she came out and told us that Raw would keep Imperium of Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther, while SmackDown will keep Jade Cargill. Raw will be this will be the first team to act. This will be the first people to actually get shifted. Damage Control will go from SmackDown to Raw, and will be drafted to Raw, and Kevin Owens will stay on SmackDown. Then nothing. Well, I'll give my opinions on the draft at the end, but then we get the first match of the night, which is Gunther versus Xavier Woods. This was pretty much like a Xavier Woods did good. I want to say it was a total like squash match, but it was somewhat a squash match. I did like the whole Rocky thing where Kofi wanted to throw in the towel, but Xavier Woods told him no. But Gunther was still end up winning by submission. So there's that. Jay Uso would cut a promo in the back where he would be interviewed about being the first overall draft pick and about the words from Logan Paul. I forgot to say that to Logan Paul. When he opened up the show, they had that him getting out the car out so speed. He was talking trash about Jay, and Jay would just respond. But in the background, you saw Liv come out of this room, and then like a couple of seconds, like maybe like a minute or two later, Dominic Mysterio came out the room. I'm like, what was y'all doing in there? my my boy was getting him some of that Liv Morgan. Yeah, yeah. I know, Dom. I know, Dom. I want some of that Liv Morgan too. Uh, but then we would get the second, the round two or night two of the draft, which is CM Punk will be drafted to Monday Night Raw or stay. He will stay on Monday Night Raw. SmackDown would keep the Pride. That they are officially being called that on television. The Pride. Braun Strowman. The rumors were true. The Braun Strowman was actually drafted or kept by Monday Night. He was already on Monday Night Raw, so he stays on Monday Night Raw. And Tiffany Stratton will be kept on SmackDown. This was the round that was done by Logan Paul and ISO Speed, and afterwards Logan Paul would cut a promo because he was upset or he was a little agitated about what Jay Uso said. Jay Uso would come out to confront him, and he would they had like a little roast session where he was saying he basically said that y'all want me not to yeet out his ass, give me a yeet or you think I should? No, I think he said if you think I could beat Logan Paul's ass or I should beat Logan Paul's ass, give me a yeet. And then Logan Paul will try to distract him by talking trash to him as Finn Balor and JD McDonough would come down the ramp. They would get in the ring and they would attack him or he would attack them first. While he was getting attacked and beat up by them, he would go grab Patrick Mahomes his three Super Bowl rings since he didn't have his brass knucks and put it on his hand. He tried to hit Jay with it, but Jay ducked and he hit JD McDonough. He would try to beat up on Finn Balor, but they would come out and he would get the upper hand on him again with the help of Logan Paul, and then we'll try to get the jump on him again. But this time, Braun Strowman will actually come out and chase off both Judgment Day and Logan Paul. And then Braun Strowman took exception to the fact that Patrick Mahomes gave his rings to Logan Paul, so he tried to get into Logan Paul in Patrick Mahomes' face, only for Jay to take him off. I mean, tell him to chill. We got a Miz and Truth promo backstage where Miz found out that they're gonna be defending the titles against Otis and Kira. Then we get to the second the second match of the night. Then we had another backstage where Booker T was talking about the draft and he would get confronted by Drew McIntyre because he said something about CM Punk and he was then he said something. It was like a words of encouragement, and he was CM Punk was like upset that Booker T would say some stuff like that because he knows how Booker T truly feel, and Booker T would give him a stinger about because he was saying like how he think it was a travesty that CM Punk was drafted before him, the guy who had one match since he been back at WWE and got injured, while he literally won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. And he said that the World Heavyweight Championship that is no longer around your waist, and Drew will take exception to that. He said you changed, and then we get to the second match, which is Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed. Oh, and that also at the end of that promo with Mr. Truth with Chad Gable, when Chad Gable got done talking to Mr. Truth, he would turn around and get bit booted by Sami Zayn. But yeah, then Sami Zayn will have the second match of the night with Bronson Reed for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a good match. Enjoyed it, but it was but I saw the ending coming because of what happened in that promo with Chad Gable. Um, Sami Zayn will win the match via DQ thanks to Chad Gable attacking him. Chad Gable would attack him and then put him in an ankle lock, and then they got him to let go. Then Bronson Reed would hit Sami Zayn with a tsunami, only to hit a phantom driver or something like that on Chad Gable when Chad Gable was standing up with the championship for him to stand with the championship. And then we get to the third round of the draft of night two. Uh, I think this was done by the Dudley Boys, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think this was done by this was done by the Dudley Boys. I'm trying to. It was this done by the Dudley Boys. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Okay. No, this was done by Ron Simmons and JBL. This was Ron Simmons and JBL. Uh, so the first pick of that round was LWO as a group, along with Carlito, drafted to Monday Night Raw. Um, the Legado del Fantasma would stay on SmackDown. Drew would stay on Raw, and Shinsuke Nakamura will be drafted to SmackDown. Um, Drew would come and cut a promo about the fact that he was that it was a travesty that he lived in like an odd version of upside down town because everybody seemed like they have lost their mindset for him, and that he can't believe that he actually was drafted after CM Punk. But then in the middle of him talking, CM Punk, he was saying that while he admitted that CM Punk was the reason why he hurt his elbow. His elbow was injured. He said CM Punk was the one who fractured his elbow at WrestleMania when he attacked him. So he congratulated CM Punk for being able to do at least accomplish one thing since he been back. You actually hurt Drew McIntyre. But unlike you, standing at home and collecting on checks, I put a tape on and came to work every day. CM Punk music would hit, and he said I'm not. He would tell him that I'm not at home. I'm up here, you little B word. And then Drew upset would go run up to try to find to get up to Drew to CM Punk, who was like in the skybox. And then we will see. I think what was that? We will have Braun Breaker get interviewed backstage, but then that interview would get interrupted by Sheamus, who will try to, give him some compliments about being like a younger version of him, but they just stop abruptly talking because Drew McIntyre walked past them angry. Then when we get the third match of the night, which is Candice LeRae versus Maxine Dupree, I would like to say this: Maxine Dupree looks good. She looks good. And she did look good. She looked a lot better here. She's improving a lot. And I'm liking that. And she almost beat Candice LeRae. She put Candice LeRae in the ankle lock, and it wasn't for Indy Hartwell cheating by hurting Ivy Niles, she would have gotten the victory. I think like there was a backstage promo where they all got yelled at by Chad Gable, and Chad Gable told Otis and then to go win them some championships, and he scolded Maxine for being happy about that she got 2 eliminations in the battle royal but didn't win it. Then we get a backstage promo with LWO where they would get interviewed about being drafted and having to deal with Cardio still, but then they'll get confronted by Dominic Mysterio, who would taunt them about being back on Monday Night Raw and that Judgment Day runs Monday Night Raw. But he said, "How y'all gonna run anything? Y'all haven't been drafted yet." And then he called him Dirty Sanchez, making fun of him with his mustache. Though I'm like, why didn't you just make the contrast comparison that he looked like Eddie Guerrero? But okay. Um, Drew. Then we got a continuation of Drew getting to that skybox, looking for finally getting to the skybox that CM Punk was up, but CM Punk wasn't there. It was just a picture of CM Punk autographed by him, making reference to how my biggest fan. I did that promo where CM Punk said, Drew said that he was like my biggest fan, Phil, but he tried to reverse it, saying now Drew was like CM Punk's biggest fan. Then CM Punk would come out to the ring and cut a promo, say he was gonna do it quicker than how long it took how long Drew McIntyre was champion for. And then he just basically talked about how and why he was drafted before CM Punk, saying that for Drew McIntyre, saying that he was the best in the world. And that he was best. He did his best on the best in the world, on the best in this ring, on his mic, even at commentary. He did that stick again. And then that was that. CM Punk just looked at fumes and angry up in the skybox. Then we get the 4th round of the draft, which was Judgment Day being drafted to will stay on Raw. Naomi will stay on SmackDown. Ilya Dragunov will be drafted to Raw, and Chelsea Green and Piper Niven will be drafted to SmackDown. I think Judgment Day cut a promo about being mad that they went in the 4th round, and they had like a little funny thing about showing that JD McDonald's the side that he got hit on was like all red and he got a knot. Then we get the 4th match, which is Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax. This was a good match. I like that they showed that Liv is not like easily getting beat or squashed by someone like Nia, and she will win the match because Tiffany Stratton, I don't know why she was there anyway at Monday Night Raw, but apparently she wanted to be at ringside to watch the match, but she would get beat up by Naomi, who was also there. Which I thought that she was there to beat up on to get back at Nia for hitting her, but she was just there to beat up on Tiffany. She didn't even care about Nia, and that distraction will allow Liv Morgan to hit the Oblivion and to hit her signature and finish her on Nia to win. Booker T will cut another backstage promo about the draft, and then we will get to the 5th round of the draft, which saw the New Day stay on Raw, Pretty Deadly stay on SmackDown, Lyra Valkyria, which I couldn't get that, will be drafted to Raw, and Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell will be drafted to SmackDown. And then this is the first time I had to turn on to the other side. Then we will get the 5th match, which was a quick match with Alpha Academy, which is the Miz and the Awesome Truth versus Alpha Academy of Otis and Akira Tozawa. I didn't like this match because most of the match happened during the commercial break, and then when we came back, we just got like a quick little match, a match between the two, and the Miz and them won like in 5 or so minutes to retain the World Tag Team Championships. We will get to the round 6, which is the 6th and final round of the night 2 draft, where we get the Final Testament group drafted to Monday Night Raw, DIY drafted to SmackDown, Bronson Reed will stay on Raw, and Blair Davenport on NXT will be drafted to SmackDown. Then we get the main event, which is a 6-man tag with Jay, Ricochet, and Andrade versus Judgment Day, which was a fun little main event. Not I want to say not the best main event because the fans you could feel the Kansas fans wasn't really into it, but they was into it enough, I guess. But it was still a fun main event that saw Ricochet, or as I call them, Team J, get the victory with Damian Priest and them having to stare down to end the show. Um, Before I give my rating, we do got the draft that happened after the because there were some people that went undrafted, and then we got the draft those people who are drafted. The only people that was left are the people who are out due to injury or maternity leave or whatnot. Um, we got the Creed brothers along with Ivy Nile staying on Raw. New Cash Republic will be drafted from SmackDown to Raw. Dijakovic will be drafted from NXT to Raw. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter will stay on Raw. Natalia was already on Raw, so she stayed on Raw. And Odyssey Jones, who was already on Raw, will stay on Raw. We got Giovanni Vinci. He'll be drafted to SmackDown. Tegan Knox will be drafted to SmackDown. And Apollo Crews will be drafted to SmackDown as well. This was an okay show. This was a good show. But it was hurt by the fact that we had a this draft was lackluster. It was like almost pointless. I don't understand. Maybe it's because I can't see how this is going to shape up. I can't see what the point of this was, but this was like a pointless draft to me because they pretty much both SmackDown and Raw pretty much kept the same roster. They even tried to make the smooth it over by having Michael Cole say, this is not a typical draft. This is more about keeping what you got, so the other people don't get it. I'm like, what? No. Anyway, the draft was whack to me. And for that, I'm taking some serious points off of this, just because the draft was whack, and we had like 2 lackluster matches. So I'm gonna be generous because I still was overall entertained. So I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. Big ups. But you let me know in the comments down below what you thought, and if you enjoyed my reaction, you know what to do. I reviewed, you know what to do. You hit this button right here up for all of my WWE reviews. And if you enjoy the video so much you want to support the channel, you know what to do. Hit those buttons. As always, any one of these videos with more of my amazing content. But don't go anywhere because I got more for you guys. Peace.